I'm going to work on the 81 K10. I towed it over to, we have kind of a little landfill over here that we need to eventually clean up someday, but for now I'm kind of using it to put junk in. And so I cleaned out the bed. So doesn't that look better? Now I'm going to tow her into the Quonset, and after dinner tonight, if I feel like working on something, I'm going to try to get this thing to go into gear. I wish someone was here to hit the brakes and steer for me. That would go so much better, but it's just me. This could go really good or not really all that great. It goes into park and it goes into neutral, it just won't go into gear. It seems so dark in here. Huh, I gotta light this place up. I'm gonna go make some dinner and then I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna run this engine for a little bit and I might get under it and try to see if I can figure out why it won't go into gear. Hey guys, I am out at the farm and my goal was to try to see if I could figure out why the 81 Chevy will not go into gear. So I'm going to climb under there and just kind of look at the linkage and stuff. Again, if you haven't seen any videos on this truck, I bought it for not a lot of money from a neighbor out here. He just wanted it kind of off his property. So I decided I'd help him out and drag it over to my property. And what he told me was the guy that owned it before him parked it because the transfer case was bad. And he didn't know any more information. Did it drive to that spot and get parked? I don't know anything else, but I know that we can put it into park and it'll go into park. And if I'm in neutral, it'll roll. It'll roll actually if I put it in any gear. The shift indicator is not connected. My old Blazer was like that, so I'm used to that. So what I'm gonna do is climb underneath and just try to continue cleaning everything off so I can just even see what's going on under there. And then I'm gonna probably, maybe with the use of this camera, try to figure out where the linkage goes. I should be able to see underneath there where it moves. I don't think this stuff's electronic. I don't think there's any actuators on this thing. It's an 81, so I don't think they're doing any of that fun stuff yet. So that's my plan. I was just looking for a scraper to try to get some of this dirt and stuff off. So I think I'll take I'll take the screwdriver, and I would like to have a putty knife. Well, I'm gonna just use a screwdriver then. So I just would be so excited if I get this thing to go into gear and I could drive around it. It does run. It's got a bunch of rotten gas in it that the guy just went and filled it up in town and then parked it. And now it's got 2 huge fuel tanks full of rotten gas. So just my luck. It is good for starting fires though. So here's kind of what we have going on. Just a lot of dirt from being out on the farm for probably its whole life. And I just wanted to, I should try to get the power washer in here, clean it more proper like. And I already spent probably an hour under here trying to clean it off because I have that kind of time. Try to get up in here and figure out where the shift linkage comes in. What's this? So I'm going to try to figure out where this guy goes and then go from there. There's this guy here that I'm going to kind of clean off. And I think this guy goes into that. Oh, that's going to be oil pressure. Okay. Shoot. That's probably not going to help me any. So last time I was out, I was trying to figure out the linkage for the 81 Chevy, and thought, you know, I'm going to try to get the thing running, and I'm just going to check the transmission fluid again, because when we brought it home, it wouldn't go into gear. We were told that the transfer case was bad. I'll have to look back at the video I posted, but I felt like we checked the transmission. I know we checked the transmission fluid. I just don't remember seeing if there was any in there. And I thought there was, and it just wouldn't go. So I really focused on linkage and maybe something else. I wasn't sure what I was going to find. But I went ahead and put some ATF in the transmission, and it's for, what do they call it, the +4 stuff. It's for the it's for Chrysler, but I just wanted to see if it would have an effect, and lo and behold, it did go into gear and move forward. I could not get it to go backward, and that's where I shut her down. And I have brought a jug of ATF with me, and so I'm going to get this thing started, and I'm going to top off the transmission fluid, and hoping that we might take the K10 for a drive this afternoon. How cool would that be? Not going to get her going too fast because the hood won't latch. Well, it'll latch, but it won't unlatch. And the power steering's not working. The windshield's a little dirty. So I'm going to try to make a second run at getting the 81 Chevy out on the road. I did get it out for a quick drive, and it overheated pretty bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and replace the hood latch so I can actually close the hood. And I'm going to fix, this was leaking pretty bad right here. And then I'm going to look at the power steering pump and see if it seems feasible to put some fluid in there and try to get that working again. And the master cylinder too. And the master cylinder too. It's just been so hot out here. I have not been able to work on this thing all day. It's like, I don't know what time it is. 6:30, 7:30, something like that. And it's still just so hot. I just can't even. It was 100 degrees today, and I just can't even get myself to work on these things when it's that hot out. So I kind of cherish the warm evenings and the early cool mornings. I really need to get used to a schedule out here and get up early and do stuff, and then go somewhere cool until it cools off at night. So. So I already replaced this latch, but I broke this little clip, so I decided to go ahead and buy a new one for the clip, basically, because you can't buy these clips. I thought you just kind of bent it one way, bent it the other way, put that thing through there, and then bent it back down, but when I did that, it broke the clip. So I got to figure out how to do that still. I had to take these two screws out that held that there. Now, how is this going to go through that? So I'm going to just try to cut the cable here, pull it out the other way, and I'm wondering if the other one has a way to disconnect the handle, but at least I'll get the old one out this way. Old one's out. Here's the new one. It's got a nice grommet. Okay, well, I think what I'm going to have to do is get that old grommet out and then just push this through from the inside, and then this thing looks like it'll thread in to the hole, and I'll have a grommet I guess that's my grommet. Huh, I guess that's kind of neat. Which actually is probably the right way to do it. I'm gonna try to get this grommet in. Oh yeah, kind of threaded through. The hole's a little bit big, but pretty neat. Wish it was a little bit bigger, or the hole was smaller. Seems like a common problem. All right. Wow, I was not expecting that to happen. She is gone, baby gone. I'm trying to get this wire kind of slide in. So last time what I thought you were supposed to do is I lifted this up and I lifted the other one, or I lifted this one up and put it in there, and then that broke. So I don't want to do that again. So I want the flies to stop biting me. I know it's asking a lot, so I'm going to put this in. I believe you can kill 10 or 12 of them biting flies. They'll leave you alone. And then I think this goes on here. I think all said and done, I don't know where I bought this stuff, carparts.com or something like that. I don't think I've got 30 bucks into the whole thing. I broke the new clip, like I said, bending it up, so I don't want to do it again. I learned the hard way. Or is that the easy way? I learned the easy way because I just did it and it broke and I ordered a new one. That's kind of the easy way to learn. I might need to adjust it. I'm telling you what, if this works, it'll be the first accomplishment I made today. And it's like time to go to bed. It's kind of sad, I know. It's kind of in there. I wish, you know what, it's not. That's the only thing I don't like about it. And I bought it for an 81 Chevy, so you would think that they would have made it bigger, because I bet every 81 Chevy has that same diameter hole. But I'm gonna have to figure out something with that. But so we're gonna close the hood, and then we're gonna open the hood. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't have a spring to it. Didn't release it, did it? Well, that's not good. What am I doing wrong? I hope it opens. Oh man, it worked. I didn't think it worked, but this spring is key. Take care of those. So when it goes down in, it latches to there, and then when you release it, it doesn't do anything without that spring. That spring forces it back up. That is actually a huge accomplishment. It's the little things. Hey man, one thing down, 492 to go. Oh wait, I was at 491 earlier. Actually, one down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things to go. I don't think we changed the oil in it. It's a little dark. It smells kind of like it needs to be changed. Oh, for crying out loud. So I'm not sure about that distributor. I think I can just change the timing like that, but I mean, the timing should be fine. So what should we do next? Actually, we should probably do this. You know, that's just for the heater. Where's the heater core? Oh, right here. So obviously there's no heat, there's no AC. I think what I will do is take this off of this pipe and then connect it to here, so that the water goes like that. I'll fill it back up with coolant / antifreeze, and that'll be 2 things down. 490 to go. I know I need new hoses. The sad thing is I've changed heater cores out on these cars, and it's one of the most miserable things you'd ever have to do. So I don't know if we'll ever have the heat working in this thing. Oh man. Silicone spray. Oopsie. Pretty good. I mean, for being parked under a tree it's been there since the early 2000s, I guess. Maybe over 20 years. Oh, dash lights work. That works. How many headlights are running lights though, unfortunately? I wonder if I could find some blown fuses, maybe. Boy, I was hoping the lights would come on. I'd go for a drive right now. Switch seems bad though. The lights don't come on, so I can't go for a night drive. It smokes really bad. I mean, what I'm trying to say is it smokes really bad, but it's actually not smoking that bad, because this would just be filled with smoke and I wouldn't be able to breathe right now and I'd be dead. I'm still burning the original gas. I know I shouldn't do that, but it's got 2 full tanks and I have no place to drain it. So I'm gonna run it and then I'll rebuild the carburetor and I'll change the plugs, and I don't know what else it does to your engine when you run that old gas, but it still seems semi-volatile to me. So I don't know. Everyone says don't run it. I'm sure they know better because they learned by the hard way. I'm super happy with the way this is going. I've got a list of things I need to do, like get air conditioning in it so Molly can drive it, and heat, put the plow on it. Why is it so hard to get your flashlight on your phone? Yeah, foamed up. That's what I would expect it to do, but I'm not gonna give up on that power steering pump yet. But if I do, I bet I can get a new one for like 35 bucks. I really didn't see any leaks out of here, so fix that problem. I'm going to try and figure out if I can get the headlights to come on. It might just be every lamp in the whole truck is burned out. You'd think one of them would come on, but where'd the radio go? Good morning. It's a rainy day at the farm. It's been 100 degrees for 4 or 5 days, and I've been hiding from the heat, and today I'm out in the Quonset with my flannel on, so that makes me pretty happy. Last night, I got to a point where I was going to try to take the truck for a drive, and the lights wouldn't come on. But I got everything kind of as good as it's going to get for now. It's got transmission fluid in it. I topped off the motor oil. I topped off the brake fluid. I topped off the power steering fluid. I got this heater hose rerouted to bypass the heater core. Topped off the radiator, and I was going to take it for a drive to kind of see how it did and keep kind of working in the power steering, and couldn't get the lights to come on. So I started digging into the lights and was hoping I'd find something wrong with the switch, but the switch actually seems like it's probably okay. There's 12 volts coming into it. I think it's a ground issue, and that's what I was going to try to mess around with either today or next time I get a chance. I was also trying to mess with the shift indicator. It's got this little piece over here that's broken, which kind of these little cables go through and run the little needle, and so that needs to be replaced probably never do that. But so I'd love to get the lights working so that, you know, we could potentially drive it at night. Not that we need to, but I found this kind of interesting. But when I was pulling the dash apart, turns out that he put a new engine in this in February of 94. It's an 01, so 9 and 4 I think is 13, probably not even a full 13 plus years. He replaced the engine, and then he wrote, he's got 10/04, probably October of 04. He wrote don't work. I don't know if that means the truck stopped working, but I think he means the odometer quit working. 71,446. I was thinking maybe that was its last day of in service, but that's kind of neat. I remember these little tags these are really cool. We should still do that, but we don't do it anymore. Anyways, that was cool to find. So I'm gonna clean this mess up. The roads out here are kind of impassable when it rains. They just get so muddy you can't get through. Even with four-wheel drive, you can get through, but it's just, you just destroy the roads. I don't think they'll be that bad. It didn't rain that hard, but I'm gonna get the truck running and go for a little drive. Kind of interesting. I was about to clean this up and try to start the truck, and then I remembered I did find this in the glove box. I understand you have fuses and spare bulbs and stuff, but he's got like a whole bag of them, and there's no fuses left, so I'm thinking he probably maybe had issues with the lights. But if I get underneath, I can find some wires that are shorting out on the frame and having issues like that. I won't tackle it today, but I'll take her for a drive. I think the next thing we do on this thing, we'll try to get the lights working, because nothing makes a truck look good like having the lights on. That's my opinion. So I was topping off the power steering, and my little valve extension, or my little pump extension, fell into the reservoir. I just spent about 40 minutes. Oh God, I'm gonna drop it back in. Finally got it out. She's just kind of not running very good. But overall, I'm not going to complain. I'm wondering, definitely need to do some work on the carburetor. I'm wondering what that little, it does look like it moved though. There's that valve on the exhaust. I wonder if that's causing me some, I feel like it runs pretty good, but then it's just not really running too good. It looks like it's still choked too, so, I mean, it's kind of still choked. Why would it be choked? I would say the choke is stuck on. So day 14, working on the K10. We're back into the super hot days. It's supposed to be 94 degrees today, and it's starting to feel that way. Although it's late afternoon, well, it's 3:30 in the afternoon, and it's just getting hot. It's been a really cool morning, but now it's hot. You know, I'm in Nebraska, so talk about the weather. So I don't know, I haven't really accomplished much with the idle, but I'm trying to mess with this valve on the exhaust. It's supposed to send warm air through the intake manifold. I'm not sure how it diverts it or whatever, but I'm trying to watch if it moves. It should be stuck open, which would be fine. And then I need to pull this guy out if I ever want to adjust that, but I don't think that's going to help me. I need a tool to adjust the air fuel mixture, which I've ordered. there's not a lot more I can do without pulling the carb and just kind of cleaning it up inside, so I'm going to leave it for now. I'm trying to drive it again. First, I got my power washer that I bought for like $89.99 or something at Menards. Got it all hooked up while the battery was charging, and we're going to go over and we're going to wash this little guy off and just see if it helps it run better. I'm going to go out on the road a little bit and just see what happens. The power steering is working good now. I put some more transmission fluid in it. Let's go out on the road and just see if she'll shift up into see if she'll shift up. See, I think the vacuum secondaries aren't working. I think that when I try to get into the secondaries, it just kind of floods itself out. So I got to figure that out. I don't understand. Oh, that's what I was excited about. I put that plug in. I was thinking that would, hey, not that kind of plug. So I was hoping that plug on the back of that actuator for the secondaries would help with that. No such luck. Road grader guy. Well, that's a bummer. Thank God she starts back up though, right? No, it just won't. I'm running out of air for some reason. So I gotta go figure out why. If I can figure out why the secondaries aren't open, the secondary thing's not opening up. So I let it go back down to idle. Would it die? Oh, it died. So we'll go to neutral. What if I really have a full tank? Full tank of rotten gas. What's more exciting than that? Well, let's go give her a bath. I think that's going to really help a lot. Let's go through the back side of the property. I want to go, I guess the guy was harvesting the winter wheat and he hit our gate with the combine. So the guy that owns the land back there, the guy that's leasing the land, told me about it. And I haven't looked at it yet, so let's go through the rear gate and we'll see if see what he did to our fence. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't see anything different. I'm not sure what he was talking about, but I'm trying to be careful driving through here. I honestly don't know what's under the grass, so let's give this old boy a little sponge bath. Hey, there she is, $29.99. No, I think I paid like $100 for it. I actually really like this truck. I really like this truck. Oh shit, I just locked myself out. I know it's kind of sacrilege doing this, but let's clean her up. looks a lot better. What are the chances it's going to start ever? Slim to none. Hope I didn't mess anything up. I think those secondary butterflies should open up when I do that. That's all I was trying to figure out, but I don't know. I gotta figure that out. Seems like it runs okay. I want to look the numbers up and see if it's still a 305 or if they put something else in. 350 LT1. I bet that's what they did. 350 LT1 of these week. Aloha. So the rain finally stopped. We're drying the camper out and trying to enjoy this cool weather while it lasts. I wanted to see what would happen if I tried to run this thing on some clean gas. I'm pretty confident that the EGR system is not functioning properly. I just feel like it's not. So ultimately I'm going to rip all that out. I think she's going to run pretty good at that point. I don't feel like the secondaries, I think that's too much tension. I'm honestly not sure how these work. If it's just from the engine pulling air through and it's just a gravity thing, then that's way too much tension. I need to get the right tools to adjust that. Same with the air fuel mixture, the timing, all that stuff. But I just feel like with this gas I'm trying to run through here, I'm never going to make any progress. So I'm going to take the supply line off of the pump and stick it into a gas can. We just went and got some gas, so I'll put it in my little can and we will run it on that and just see what the difference is. This is going way too easy. So the cool weather is over and Molly and I spent the day plastering in the little house, hoping that we'd get done, but we still have one more room to do, unfortunately. But that was a huge accomplishment. So I tried to bypass the gas tank with the rotten fuel, and I put this little guy in here, and I'm going to try to run it on regular gas and just see if that helps to eliminate some of the problems I've had with stumbling or whatever you call it when I get into the secondaries. I just wanted to eliminate this before I move forward with trying to work on the carburetor at all. So let's see how this goes. So that just burned through like half a gallon of gas. So I'm thinking that it's taking my good gas and returning it to the fuel tank. So there's just no way I could possibly burn that much gas that fast. So I'm going to take that return. I gotta do a little research on this pump, but I think that's a return line to the tank. I'm gonna take that off and plug that and just see if that helps, but there's no way it can burn through. If that's the case, this thing gets about 1 mile a gallon or half a mile a gallon. Okay, attempting to get the K10 running. Take 1,142. I tried running it last night, and I think that since it has a return line on it, that the gas was just going back to the tank. It just wouldn't run. Should have run better, at least as good with the good gas. So I actually had these fuel line clamps that I bought for something else a long time ago and never used them. So I was like the happy dad finding those. Like, see, I knew I bought those for a reason, and I held on to them. So I'm gonna try this once more. Well, I'm gonna try it a lot of more times until I get it, but I'm gonna try it once more now. It's still Oregon weather out here at the farm, which Molly and I are not complaining about. I went over and looked at the plaster in the little house, and it's still up on the ceiling, so that made for a good morning. All right, let's see if we can get this running. Seem to have used a lot of gas again. If it's truly burning that much gas, then that kind of answers my problem. Now I want it to idle higher. I'm starting to not be a Rochester Quadrajet fan. Time to go get a Holly. I always liked my Hollies when I was a kid. That's kind of nice. Go for a drive. That's a lot better. I think that bad gas was my whole problem. So if I go back in time, I'll just add a little transmission fluid, a little power steering fluid, a little brake fluid, and some good gas, and I could have saved myself about 60 plus hours of chasing my tail. But she seems to be running pretty good now, so let's hope that she keeps on running good. Because now she can be a useful engine. That little trip burned through a whole gallon of gas, so obviously something's wrong with it. I knew it was going to diesel a little bit. So now I'll plan on coming out and just doing a little tune-up on it. I'll change the spark plugs, rebuild the carburetor, adjust the timing, and then go from there. So thank you guys for watching this. I know it's not the most exciting truck in the whole world, but I love this thing so far.